The college library was Sophia's safe place, a quiet spot of old books and whispered stories. Huge old books whispered secrets from tall shelves. She loved the feel of old paper, the smell of old ink. Here, among the forgotten words, she felt most alive. One rainy Tuesday, Sophia found a forgotten corner. A tall bookshelf, clean and dust-free, stood alone. Curious, she ran her fingers along the spines of the books. Smooth, very smooth, as if someone had just cleaned them. One book, hidden at the bottom, caught her eye. Its title was hidden in shadow. She pulled the book. It was heavier than it looked. As she did, the bookshelf moved a little. A low rumble echoed through the quiet library. A bit of darkness peeked from behind the shelf. Sophia felt a cold shiver down her spine. Drawn by a curiosity she couldn't understand, Sophia pushed the shelf open. It moved easily, showing a passage hidden in darkness. The air grew heavy, thick with the smell of damp earth and something else. Something old and scary. Carefully, Sophia stepped into the passage. The air grew colder, making her skin tingle. The musty smell got stronger, sticking to her clothes like ghostly hands. The floor beneath her feet was cold, bumpy stone. Each step echoed strangely in the silence. The passage opened into a large, round room. A single flickering gas lamp made long, dancing shadows on the bookshelves that covered every wall. The shelves were packed with books of every size and shape, some covered in leather, others in metal, some even in what looked like human skin. The sight made Sophia feel even more uneasy. In the middle of the room was a huge, ornately carved table. A single book lay open upon it, its pages filled with strange symbols and drawings. The air in the room felt heavy, like it was pressing down on Sophia, making it hard to breathe. She reached out, her fingers shaking, and touched the carving on the table. It was cold, strangely cold. A jolt went up her arm and a voice whispered in her mind. But Sophia couldn't move, her eyes fixed on the open book on the table. It was a library, but not like any she had ever seen. Fear was alive here, something she could almost touch. Sophia felt a shiver down her spine. She knew with a chilling certainty that she shouldn't be here. The book on the table called to her. The air around it shimmered, bending the light from the flickering lamp. Its pages were filled with strange symbols and drawings. They seemed to wiggle and move as she watched, whispering promises of forbidden knowledge. She reached out, pulled by a force she couldn't resist, and touched the page. The symbols seemed to burn into her skin, leaving a searing pain and a mark of cold fire. A voice, rough and ancient, echoed in her mind. Terror grabbed Sophia, pulling her away from the table. She stumbled, her heart pounding. The room seemed to shrink around her, the shelves moving closer, the shadows growing longer. The whispering got louder, all around her, mocking her. On the table lay a book. Covered in black leather, it felt evil. Its title, written in silver, gave her chills. The voice of hell. The air around it seemed to crackle with unseen energy. Sophia felt a strong urge to open it, to learn its secrets. It was a hunger she couldn't understand, a thirst for knowledge that was almost an obsession. Her mind told her to leave, to run, but the book held her there. She touched the cover, her fingers tracing the title. A jolt of energy went through her, sending a sharp pain up her arm. The book creaked open as if inviting her in, showing elegant, spidery writing. The language was unknown, yet she understood. A single phrase echoed in her mind. The words hung in the air, full of warning and dread. Sophia stepped back, shaking with fear. The book, however, kept her attention, its power undeniable. Even though she knew she shouldn't, Sophia began to read aloud. The words felt strange in her mouth, tasting like ash and sadness. As she spoke, the shadows in the room grew darker, twisting into scary shapes. The air grew thick, making it hard to breathe. A low growl echoed through the room. The room grew colder, and the flickering gaslight flickered, making monstrous shadows on the walls. Pure animal fear gripped Sophia. She slammed the book shut, but it was too late. The symbols on the page glowed with a strange light. The growl grew louder, becoming a deep roar. From the darkness behind the shelves, a shape began to appear, a monstrous shadow surrounded by darkness, its eyes burning with an evil fire. Sophia stumbled back, her heart pounding. The book lay open on the table, pulsing with an evil light. She had unleashed something terrible, something old and hungry. Her escape route, the bookshelf passage, was gone, replaced by a solid wall of books. Sophia was trapped, alone with the creature from the book.